One of my clients just sent me a video
Yeah.
saying this is their new alarm.
Is it Ronnie Coleman?
Yeah,
That's my
buddy.
that's the better bit than the yeah buddy bit where he goes ooh. That's the best bit of the video.
Yeah, buddy.
We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with it.
Welcome back everyone to the Lionstone Podcast. My name is Patrick and today I am joined once again by Mr. Matthew.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's a gloomy as fuck Wednesday morning. Yesterday was ridiculously hot. Today is ridiculously cold.
Yeah.
But here we are.
So yesterday it was like 36 and then towards the end of the day it started raining, right?
Just pissing down with rain.
Yeah, and then today is like muggy. I don't know, is it cold outside?
Yeah, it's not warm.
No.
It's a bit muggy, like 21 degrees.
Yeah, it's gross temperature.
Anything feels cold after 36. It's just like dead.
Yeah, my house doesn't have air conditioning either.
Doesn't it?
No, the downstairs lounge room does, which we never use because it's like connected to it's like the like open plan living, like kitchen, dining room,
Yeah.
like supposed to be living area, but because we have the dog, that's his part of the house. We just gate that bit off, and he has the whole back of the house to roam around in.
Yeah.
That room is air conditioned, but because the room is so open and there's nothing in it,
Yeah.
apart from the dining table and the kitchen,
Yeah.
it doesn't cool anything down. It just stays
Right.
hot down there. And then in the master bedroom has an air conditioner. The rest of the house just has heating, and that's it.
Jesus.
So we went out and bought a $600 evaporative like stand thing
The ones that like need a fucking tube out the window.
out the window. Yeah.
Does that work?
It makes it cooler. I wouldn't say it's good as having air conditioning in every room.
It's no evaporative.
No, it sucks. It doesn't suck. It cools the room down it's in. And if you stand in front of it, it's all right. But like the next house we look at, the criteria. This criteria was just that it was like not in a shit area.
And you picked Point and Cook.
And the house around the corner sold for 1.5 million. So
Jesus.
yeah, fuck that.
You also pay like what, $3 a week in rent?
Yeah, like $370 or something.
That's fucking nothing.
It's dirt cheap for what we have. Like
Yeah.
you've seen my house, it's dirt cheap for it.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
But the next house, the criteria is that in each of the offices,
Yep.
there has to be air conditioning.
And so most houses, this is each of the bedrooms because you
Yeah.
convert that to office.
Yeah, so it's a 4-bedroom house, or 3 technically. One's supposed to be an office, so we've got 2 of those as individual offices, and then like a spare bedroom.
Yeah.
And I don't know why none of those have. They don't even have fans in the ceiling.
It's because people hate kids.
Yeah, that's true.
That's usually kids' rooms. They don't get aircon. Oh, just deal with it.
Yeah, I'd pay the extra. Because does your house have air conditioning in every room?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So upstairs, yes.
Mm.
It has evaporative, but it's not very good. It's like from the 80s.
Right.
So it's not the best, but it blows air, and that's important.
Mhm.
And then there's like where the stairs are, it's kind of like an open area. So there's a big vent above the stairs and it blows air downstairs, and then there's fans downstairs. So it kind of gets pushed through the house.
Okay, that's not too bad then.
Yeah, it's not great.
Do you sit at your desk and just drip with sweat by the end of the
Absolutely.
That's
Because
bad.
my desk, like if I'm sitting at my desk, the window's straight in front of me. It looks amazing, but it gets the like from as soon as the sun rises to about 11:30 in the morning, it just gets the sun straight on it, so it cooks the room, and then I'm just dripping buckets. And then by after lunchtime, it's okay, but by that time, I don't want to fucking work anyway.
Yeah,
so.
I'm the same. I've got like like my windows only open a certain amount because they're kids.
Yeah,
supposed to
so
be kids'
are
bedrooms.
mine. So
Yeah, I've got
you got that little
those
and
ones
does it
too.
open out that way.
No, I've got one that slides, but they have the stoppers in them.
Okay.
And I don't know. I think I've ruined them, but I got the drill and just drilled the shit out of the screw, so the screw broke, and I just pulled the stoppers out so I could open the windows all the way.
Fucking hell. Yeah, look, that child-safe window, no good.
It's in a study too. I gave Bree the better study. Hers is the bigger room with the nice window that looks out. All the other windows are like frosted over.
You just want it dark.
No, I had that room originally, and then I gave it to her.
Right.
And then we made the other one a spare bedroom, and I got Ethernet ports put in the 2, her office and my office.
Yeah.
And now I want the spare bedroom because it has a nice window in it.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pay the $100 and get an Ethernet port, put it in there. But I might even just pay.
Do your landlords know that you're doing that?
No, but it adds value.
Right. Why did you replace the toilets in our house? Oh, it adds value.
Added value. Well, the Ethernet port downstairs doesn't work.
What?
Yeah, it didn't work.
It's just not connected.
It's just not connected. The one in the garage does. So originally, because Wi-Fi didn't reach upstairs.
Yeah, mine. I'm currently dealing with that issue.
Well, do you want some cables? I've got 60-meter Ethernet cables that I
Really?
ran from the garage all the way up the stairs, down the corridor into the rooms.
Nah, no.
Just take up
We were
space.
just going to get a range extender. Just plug it in the wall. That's what Emily suggested, but they don't work.
They
that
don't
well.
work very well.
Yeah, I
They don't
know.
work very well.
The only issue is that the only thing that impacts us is when we're in bed, which I like scroll on TikTok. That's the only time.
That's how I go over my data. Is because I disconnect from the
How much
Wi-Fi.
data do you have?
Like 60 gig.
How do you go over 60 gig?
Well, I remember my Wi-Fi doesn't work in my house on my phone, so I'm always on 4G.
Yeah, but that's a lot of data.
I suppose.
That's a lot of data.
I don't know.
I got like 40 gig. I haven't touched the sides
yeah, right.
since I left Doncaster, living in Williamstown.
You get actual proper internet.
You get proper internet, yeah.
Yeah, that's
It used
fair.
to be so freaking slow. Like those household NBN plans.
Mm.
Sorry, the apartment building NBN plans where you just like get the crumbs from the people on the 12th floor. It's all linked to the same thing.
So you don't have to pay for an internet plan. They pay it for
Nah,
you.
you still have to pay for an internet
Oh,
plan.
really?
It's just all connected.
Oh, yuck.
Yeah, it's trash.
Yuck.
Good luck trying to do anything at like 6 p.m.
Yeah, fuck that. Anyway, so today we are talking about... last week we spoke about New Year's resolutions.
And
This
how
week,
they are donkey shit.
That's true. But this week we want to talk about, because obviously like a heap of new people just started in the gym, want to start getting into fitness.
They got lectured by us last week.
Yeah, and they're like, that's it. These boys know what they're doing. We're going to start getting into shape. So
They've convinced us they know what they're doing. Now we're going to teach you. So buckle up. This is actually probably going to be really fucking valuable. So
yeah, so we're going to go through the people, like the barriers of entry to fitness are typically...
I don't know how to track my macros.
Yeah, probably the hardest one is the nutrition side of things, because going to the gym, even though you don't know what you're doing, you can just like each gym has their own like Crunch has like the half hour, power half hour, whatever it is, where you just do 3 sets on every single one of the machines in a row.
My gym's got a power 3 minutes.
What's that?
Never mind.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, they have that beginner intro thing that everyone can just go do.
Yeah.
So like, even if you don't know what you're fucking doing, there's something that you can do.
What do they do? So what is
So it's just like they have the machines set out, like all the pin loader machines set in a straight line in the middle of the gym. So you just start at one end, do 3 sets of 8 to 10, and just go all the way down the line to the other end.
Really?
Yeah.
Does everyone do it?
Oh, the people who don't know what they're doing.
You know what would make that a lot of fun?
What?
If they did half the machines one side, half machines the other side, and played musical chairs. So you walk around and then the music stops, get in, pump out a set, and if you don't do the set in time, you
go.
lose.
That's like a group class idea.
Yeah. Copyright. All you fuckers from Crunch, get out of it.
Oh, that's ours. That's our idea.
That's our idea.
I think the hardest part is...
We actually do that with the podcast.
But before every episode, we just run around the desk and
Run
whoever
around.
gets the chair gets the chair. That's how you
There's
decide.
2 chairs and there's 2 of us. We don't like losing participation awards for days. So yeah, the barrier of entry is pretty low these days going into a gym.
Going into the gym, yeah. But I think the nutrition thing is the hardest side of stuff, because people just go with the old. Either they do some stupid juice cleanse, they get on some stupid
Keto.
yeah, like fad diet that they can't stick to, or they just go like, oh
I'm eating ice for lunch.
yeah, like some rabbit food. Or my uncle says, oh, you just need to eat chicken and rice and a bit steak and potatoes and you'll lose weight.
That's what my uncle said, but he also just said eat ice cream. I'm not even lying.
Oh god.
When I first started training, my uncle was like, make sure you eat ice cream. You know, the best thing for growing muscles, milk and ice cream. I was like, all right, Reese.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, yeah, maybe lay off the ice cream if you're overweight. You probably don't need it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not the truth. Well, it is the truth. I'm not lying. But yeah, I think they're the biggest barriers of entry. It's just like misinformation and just like old school rhetoric that people just keep banging on about, that you just need to eat the basics, which is true to an extent, but there's still elements of it that you can enjoy food, you can enjoy a lifestyle. And I get on every consult and I tell clients, like the ones that aren't comp prepping, like, this isn't a comp prep. You don't need to live like a monk. You can still go and enjoy social events, and there are ways that you can eat food and still have like a relatively normal life. All weight loss is just eating slightly less of the foods that you already consume.
Correct. That's not sexy though. People don't want to hear that.
No, they want some.
So let's give an example, right? So 100 kilo male, not using anyone in particular, for example, 6 foot tall, mildly handsome, decent beard, wears a hat a lot. Let's say he's he's jumped on the Google and found a calorie calculator, right?
www.lionstone.com/calorie calculator.
Bingo, bango.
I don't know if that's the URL, but we have one on our website.
Yeah, if you go on lionstone.com and find the resources, it's in there.
Yep.
So you've banged in your details, and it says your TDEE. TDEE.
It's always hard to say. Yeah.
TDEE
Yeah.
is 3,200 calories a day.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean, Patrick?
So your total daily energy expenditure is pretty much like maintenance calories of what you expend in a day.
Yes.
And then in order to either gain weight, you need to eat more than that. And to lose weight, you need to eat less than that.
Correct.
It's just
very
math.
simple. First and foremost, notice how we haven't spoken about any particular foods, right? So notice how we haven't mentioned what food's being eaten. It's because all foods just have calories, right? And that's what we need to take into consideration.
Yeah, the biggest, the determining factor of your weight loss is the calories consumed. And then...
This is not to discredit the fucking role of micronutrients, you cucks.
Yeah, all macros, micronutrients, all that stuff is still important. But the thing that dictates your ability to gain and lose weight are the fucking calories you stuff in your mouth.
And versus how many that is versus what your body actually needs. Right. So you've seen 3,200 as your TDEE. So your daily amount that you can eat without changing, right? Now, this is a fucking estimate. No computer, no matter how smart chat GPT AI motherfucker is, everyone's gonna be a little bit different, you know?
Yeah, it's a range. It can vary. It can be, let's say it's 3,200, but it might actually be, well, let's say 3,300,
33 or 2,900.
Yeah, it'll range. You'll start there. It'll give you a sweet spot to start from, and then you can kind of adjust your food.
And you know what's funny? It's different every fucking day because you move more certain days, you shit more certain days, you drink more water certain days. Like this, it is a range. Like one day it could be 3,000. One day it could be 3,100.
Yeah.
One day it could be 2,900. Like it just depends.
Yeah. It's a that's why when we look at calories for clients, it's over a total week. It's an average as opposed to you want to hit the macros every single day. But let's say one day you ate 2,900. The next day you ate 3,100. Over the course of a week, that would start to average out to kind of give you a weekly average, and that's where we look at.
That's where the money is made.
Correct. So, in terms of getting into tracking your food, even let's regress that even further. Let's just go back to like intuitive eating, which is something that I see a lot of people.
Fuck.
Yeah. Like
if I intuitively ate, I would be so fat.
Yeah.
Because I am always intuitive about eating.
That's the problem. Is like a lot of people who are overweight are. Oh, I thought my microphone was muted. No, we're good.
No, you're gravy, baby.
The people like even overweight, underweight, like your intuition is clearly wrong because it got you to a certain point. It's not right. Your intuition's off. Even with me, I'm not overweight by any stretch of the imagination. But if you put a fucking Big Mac meal in front of me, 3 Big Mac meals in front of me, I would eat all 3.
You'll see some intuitive eating happen.
Yeah, enjoyable eating. I would eat all 3 of them. It's hard for people to say no, but
it's often people just don't know what is the best thing for them, right? So the amount of calories, like you can't intuitively eat being like, if you approached it like this, right? So you have 3,200 calories to eat for the day, right? And you wanted to intuitively eat. You would need to know pretty much the calorie amount of every meal that you're eating.
Yeah.
In a rough kind of guide. So you could go out for breakfast and have bacon and eggs and 2 pieces of sourdough and be like, yeah, look, I reckon they used a bit of oil in the cooking. It's probably 750 calories. Right, cool. I've banked that for the day.
Yeah.
Now I've got however much left. Like that's how you would need to approach it.
The only way to get there is by having tracked or
for
having
years.
Yeah, having some kind of understanding of nutrition. Now, I'm not saying that you can't just be like, cool, let me just focus on eating healthier, because that's still technically intuitively eating, and that'll get you somewhere. But then it'll get to a point where you're like, why have I stopped losing weight, so on and so forth, and that's when things need to change a little bit. But we'll cross that bridge a little bit later. After intuitive eating, is there anything you want to add to the intuitive eating?
Oh, it's just garbage if you haven't spent the last 10 years tracking macros.
Yeah.
So like if you've heard someone say, I've been losing weight through intuitively eating, listening to my body. Okay. If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably a fucking scam. So just don't fucking listen to people who have if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is a duck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. I still think people can change their habits slightly and still see improvement, but
Oh, for sure. But also, the people who can change a habit slightly and see improvement aren't the ones who need
that's true.
serious
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
interjection into their lifestyle
No, that's
habits.
fair. That's fair. I think I agree with that one. After that, we move on to something that's a little bit more structured, a meal plan. Now, people bash on meal plans all the time. I see coaches being like, oh, I don't do meal plans because I don't agree with a non-long-term sustainable approach. But I'm going to make a comparison here that macro tracking, where people do it, they change their food day by day, whatever. But most people will just go be like, okay, cool, I'm going to eat the same food for the next 2 weeks. You just written yourself a meal plan. So I still think that's what you've done.
Hoodwinked.
That's it. We gotcha. So I don't think meal plans, I don't like that. I don't think they're sustainable for the rest of your entire life. But let's say you did. That's why when we give clients their first 2 weeks, they get a meal plan while they learn to track. Because I think having a structure in place, even if it's something that's like, you can still make a meal plan with food you enjoy, but having a meal plan will give you something to follow. You'll be like, okay, cool. It takes the guesswork out of it. You don't need to think. You'll be like, okay, I can have this, this, and this. This is my breakfast. Cool.
It essentially buys you time to learn.
Yes, correct.
You are going through a learning phase to understand how to track foods, and it takes away the guesswork, so you don't have to do dumb shit like intuitively eat whilst you learn that, right? And if you have someone else telling you, this is your meal plan, this is what we're roughly thinking your calories are, your TDEE, and then if we're putting you at a deficit straight away or putting you a build, this is what we roughly think you're going to be on, because we've done it a fair bit. We can make pretty good educated guesses based on a couple of different formulas, but also like experience with other clients, right?
Yeah.
So if you put on a meal plan for 2 weeks, you ride that out, fantastic. It's not a long-term solution, but then you move to macro tracking. So talk us through that.
Yeah. So in terms of how to get to macro tracking or macro tracking in itself?
Just like the one thing, before we move on to that, meal plans are, again, they get a lot of hate, right?
They do.
But don't tell me for a second that you and your family, whoever you are, don't eat a rotation of the same 4 meals for dinner every fucking night.
Hey, Mum, what's for dinner tonight?
Chicken parmigiana, lasagna,
Yeah.
spaghetti bolognese, and chicken stir fry.
Yeah, a staple in my house was pasta bake. And
Oh, fuck yeah.
That would be like 3 nights a week. And then be like, hey, Mum, what's for dinner next week? Or what's for a week later? What's for pasta bake again? I'm like, oh, whatever, fuck it.
Mama, we poor.
Yeah. Hey, what's for breakfast, Patrick? I'm just gonna have cereal before I go to school. So, like, the thought of the idea of a meal plan that's not like my thought. Like, I used to be fucking against them, but then I was like, like I can stick to the same food for 4 weeks in a row and not be too stressed about it. But at the same time, if I want to change it, I have this education and the ability to go and change that by myself, which is, I think, a point where people need to get to. But it's easier just to sell a quick fix meal plan where it's
At the end of the day,
sexy.
people are looking for a way to solve their problems the quickest way possible, right? And the quickest way possible to solve your long-term problems is actually commit to change and be educated, right? But that's not sexy. That doesn't sell on the Instagrams, right? So the meal plan's done for 2 weeks, whatever, maybe 3 weeks for some people, just to get on top of things. But you then transition to macro tracking. Well, let's call it calorie counting and macro tracking, because I kind of do it in 2 ways. I'm not sure if you do this with your clients too. But you can count all 3 macros. 4 if you really want to include like alcohol.
Yeah.
Fibers and carb macro. Looking for approval when I know the answer. So you move to tracking the macros. The macros. So usually what I'll do, I'll start people tracking all 3 so that they learn the importance of all 3. So protein, for an average person, how would they figure out their protein, Carl?
So take your body weight in kilos and times it by 2.2. I think for women it's a little bit different. You don't need same even for extremely overweight people. You don't need 2.2. So the range is like I think 1.6, 1.8 to 1.8 to 2.4. So for men, typically I'll go around anywhere from 2 to 2.2, depending on how heavy they are. Because if someone's, let's say, 150 kilos, they don't need 300 grams of protein.
That's a lot of protein.
And for
Shit
women,
in bricks.
I usually go on the 1.8 side because again, I don't think an 80 kilo woman needs 160 grams of protein.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I think that's aggressively high.
I took on a client who many moons ago who worked with another coach, and they were a female who was 90 kilos, 240 grams of protein.
Yeah, it's people forget that there's like, even though it's like
women are not just like smaller men. No, like that's not how it works.
No, they I think people get like, it's not this. There's a range here that, like, even if it says people that like this, I'm pretty sure people get it. Like, the science says that anyone who weight trains needs 2.2 kilos or 2.2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. But like, a woman doesn't need 240 grams of protein. I'm an 88 kilo male and I'm on 250. Like, an 80 kilo woman doesn't need.
That's a lot of protein.
Well, yeah, it's still, actually, maybe I'm on like 220. It's about like,
you fucking fibber.
I lied. Sorry. And I hate eating.
Got him, guys.
Yeah, high levels of protein fucking suck to eat. But
it's so expensive.
it is. It's so expensive. But yeah, women don't need 240 grams of fucking protein. Like, the thing that, yeah, people get caught up on it. Like, this is what it says.
It's the arbitrary number.
This is what I need to do. But like, everyone is like, there's nuance to everything. It's like when we get to fat. I usually, for women, it's like around, give or take, depends on how heavy they are, but like your quote unquote average female, anywhere from like 50 to maybe 70 kilos, is like, on the lower end, it's probably like 1.2 times body weight. And then as you get a little bit higher, it gets close to 1. Anything probably above 80 is like 0.8 times body weight.
Yeah.
Like hormone regulation, creation, all that good stuff. But yeah, then I've seen people being like, disregard that completely and go all the way down the fucking like 30 grams of fat, 40 grams of fat. Like, as a male, I think the lowest I've been on is 45 grams of fat.
Mine's 45 too. For like a week.
They're the two that I would say is super, super important. Like, get your numbers right on those, and then just fill the rest of your calories with carbs.
As many as possible.
As many as possible.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, to go back to your original question of the macro tracking side of things, I think a good place to start for a lot of people is just like focus on, I would say focus on tracking protein and calories.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Like, if you've got no access to, like, our clients get a course on how to do it all. Like, then they've got access to us.
Written and recorded by yours truly.
That's it.
Bada bing, bada boom.
And then they have access to their coach to obviously ask questions if they don't understand stuff. So they get the easier way of doing it. We get to teach them how to do it.
Yes.
And then, but
if you're not a client, then this is for you.
Yeah, if you're not a client, then this is for you. Start with tracking your protein and your calories and just fill the rest with fats and carbs. Like, you'll, in quote unquote, intuitively eat there and probably hit close enough to your values that it'll be fine. Once you start to get a grasp on that and you're like, okay, cool, well, now I understand how to hit my protein, let's add the other two macros in, fats and carbs, and play with those and get set values. But at the end of the day, you can still achieve a result with both. You can still achieve a result just tracking your calories, just your calories.
If your goal is weight loss, for example, right? And let's go back to our male who's 3,200 calories and 6 foot tall.
Mm-hmm.
So if that was the case, if he's 100 calories and we're going 2.2 because he's a male, so 220 grams of protein.
Yeah, give or take.
Roughly. So he eats that. So 2.2 of protein times 4 is 800 and...
We're going to use the calculator because 220 times 4, did you say? 880.
Greta Thunberg just got detained by police for climate protest in Germany.
No, fucking...
This is why we don't use our phone.
So 880?
880. So you would, if you're in a deficit as well, so let's say 500 calorie deficit, so 3.2 down to 2.7.
Mm-hmm.
So 2,700 calories minus 880.
Minus... So you got 1,800 calories left.
1,800 calories. That's so many calories, right?
Yeah, divided between fats and carbs, yeah.
Between that... Divide that between fats and carbs, you can have a good amount of food, right? And this is where intuitive. I'm not even going to call it intuitive. I call it flexi diet range.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the technical term. Don't Google it.
Like as in range of calories.
Yeah, like range of calories of
range dieting. Fat. There you go.
Sure. Well, range dieting slightly different, right? Because that would have an invariable calorie target. Like if you say your range is between 60 and 70 grams of fat, and your range between carbs is 200 and 250, like if you ate the top end of both of those, it would be an increased amount of calories versus if you ate the bottom end of both of those and you're an increasing amount of calories.
Yeah, that's why it's called a range.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have I misunderstood the question?
Next question. See ya.
Explain to me what flexi diet is.
So what I mean is just those carbs and fats that are left over, so they're 1,800 odd calories.
Yeah.
Just being divided evenly against
I get you.
carbs and fats.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be even. Some days it could be more carbs. Some days it could be more fats. Most meals will balance you out across the week.
Yeah.
Right? If you want a tasty meal, it's going to have fats in it. If you want some form of energy, it's going to have carbs.
Yep.
So like, even if like you're cooking with oil or whatever, like it balances out. So that's what I tend to do that with clients who get like obsessive with macro tracking and have gone too far to the letter, like to the number, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, pull back. You're not going to be able to do this forever. You're not going to be able to pull out MyFitnessPal on holidays in Greece. Like you need to be able to flexi diet range.
Yep.
And that's where I get most people too, because that becomes a really freeing way to live.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you just say, I need to eat 220 grams of protein, and then no matter what my diet, like my goal is, if my goal is lose weight, maintain, or gain weight, I then either eat like 1,800 calories of whatever, fats and carbs, or I eat 2,100 calories of whatever to maintain, or I eat 2,500 calories of whatever to gain. Like that's like a real layman's terms. If you're not paying attention to the absolute minutia, like you're not competing or whatever, that's a brilliant way to diet.
Yeah.
It is so fucking sustainable. It's ridiculous. Because then you look at the 220 grams of protein and you're like, okay, that's like 800 grams of meat, roughly. Maybe a kilo, maybe not a kilo. Anyway, but it could look like, oh, I only have to eat 300 grams of chicken. I need to eat 400 grams of mince, and I have 1 scoop of protein, and I've covered all my bases.
Yeah.
And that's what you just eat. And then you don't have to track that because you're like, oh, I roughly, eventually over time, you weigh it, and then you eyeball it, and you're like, oh, I was right. Like that, then you eat that every day.
Yeah.
And then you can have whatever you want for the rest.
Yeah.
So that is like, that for me is the ultimate goal for someone who's not in comp prep, is get to a point where they know how to track their protein and then flexi the rest.
Yeah.
Sounds like a slogan for a car rental company.
It does, doesn't it?
Track your protein and flexi the rest. Next time on Flexi Car Rentals. That was pretty good.
Yeah, there's a new job for you. You can start doing voiceovers. But yeah, I think...
give me something to voice over. This is really funny. I'm going to do it now. Give me an item to voice over.
Can of Monster. Actually, do Anime Strapco. There you go.
Check out the latest deals from Anime Straps Co. We've got your wristbands, straps, and knee sleeves at all discounted prices. Terms and conditions apply. See waiver for details.
Oh, please don't ever do that again. That was the cringiest thing I've ever listened to.
No, I can do it better if you want.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let's back to
Doing an American accent.
We're going to go back to macro tracking.
Welcome to Dodge Ram. We've got the biggest Dodge for your needs.
Oh.
Have you watched Yellowstone?
No, you told me to watch it last week.
And have you?
No.
Why do you hate me?
No.
Anyway.
I haven't had time. Back to macro tracking. I think even with someone who's not competing, I'm going to throw a curveball at you. I still think tracking carbs and fats is important. At least even if you're not competing, if you're looking to like develop a high level physique, I still think that shit's important. But at the same time, like you said, someone who's just wanting to lose a bit of weight, gain a little bit of weight, you don't need to go to the extreme lengths, not even the extreme lengths, but the lengths to track every single macro. You can just get away with calories and protein and you'll be good as gold. It
just comes down to what your goal is, right? Because if you're just doing that flexi range, you're not going to be able to like fulfill like a peak week, right? If you've got like a photo shoot or something like that, you're not gonna get the dialed in physique based on that. You need to put planning in place, and you need to be able to manipulate those individual macros because they do have a role outside of just fuel for your body, right?
Yeah.
So like, yes, it depends on how kind of serious you're taking things, and sorry, to you too. That's all right. So yeah, no, I don't think that's a curveball at all. I 100% agree. I think like, especially with some of our clients who, do you have clients that are competing currently?
No.
I have a couple who are like going into that phase and have been like range dieting, and now they need to start dieting in again.
Yeah, well,
So,
I would say it's not a more serious goal because like everyone's goal is
serious business.
everyone's goal is important, but a comp prep you need to take things far more rigid and seriously, and it's like that's where the ability to go have a fucking track a large pizza is like no, not anymore, not for you,
not you, Brent.
no. But like something Reese talks about is when he like the last few weeks of comp prep, he gets everyone to go onto a meal plan because at that point like fatigue. Like diet
Decision fatigue is there.
your ability to make proper decisions has kind of gone out the window. So just having something to follow is one less thing to think about and one less stress. But we're not talking about comp prep here. If you were to use, because like when it comes to tracking macros, you got a few different options of apps. Like everyone uses MyFitnessPal, but I think
those fucking cunts made it pay for scan.
It's
what a dumb move.
Yeah, that's how you shoot your fucking audience, like your audience in the foot, your market in the foot.
Shoot your golden goose.
Yeah, so I would like, and it's like $30 a month or something rubbish. So
fuck that.
It's so expensive. I would suggest that you transition to Chronometer. That is like they have a free version which has like ads displayed at the top like MyFitnessPal free does, but I think it's like $13 a month for the pro version.
It's cheap.
And then you can set in like rest day calories, high day calories, training day calories, and it automatically changes that day for you. You can log exactly what time you had meals if you're into that kind of stuff, and it makes things far, far easier.
If you want to track your poop schedule,
you can do all that stuff in. They've got like an online dashboard that's super comprehensive. If you want to take things to that level, I highly recommend it. And if you want a resource on how to track macros, ages ago we made a ebook called Macros Made Easy, which I believe now is free on the website.
It's Macros Made free now.
Yeah, it's free. It's free on the website. So go to our website, resources section. In the same place, you'll find the calorie calculator, which is also free.
Bang in your email.
All you need to do is put your email in.
I think email and phone number.
Maybe
not.
I think it might just be email. It's one of the two. It's there. Like
you actually get some good shit if you do that as well. So whenever you like download a resource from us, we'll send you a bunch of more resources too.
Yeah. So
and Reese made them, so they're Reese sources.
But yeah, you'll get accurate. You get Macros Made Easy, which is free.
I was the first one to buy that those years ago. Yeah,
that's we made that. That's a good fucking book.
Yeah,
I'm
Lionstone.
There's some spelling errors because someone wrote the content who's very dyslexic.
Where's Reese today?
Oh, he's busy.
I'm pretty sure I saw him with a blanket laying down on the prime equipment.
Oh,
it finally came.
It finally came. He's been sitting like just hugging it, just sitting there caressing it.
I can't believe it's real. Just constantly getting pumps.
But yeah, like Macros Made Easy. Go download that if you want some resources on how to actually track. That teaches you
a bunch of shit.
Well, it teaches you from not knowing how to track to going how to track alcohol, meals out. What else? Like we could talk.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So tracking alcohol, I think, is something that people go, I don't want to. Like, it depends how like important the event to. Even with food tracking, fuck it, we'll go down that to it too. Depending on how important the event is to you. Like, let's say it's my birthday. It's not my birthday next week, but let's say it was my birthday next week and I was going out. I'm not going to track that.
No,
it's my birthday.
Yeah.
Or like if it was Reese's birthday or my girlfriend's birthday, I wouldn't track those events. I'd be like, fuck it, whatever.
Where in the social hierarchy do you implement not tracking into someone's birthday?
Depends how much I like them.
Yeah, exactly. Where do you have to rank on there? Like if we were going out for my birthday, would you bank calories?
No.
You bastard!
No.
I'm asking you out for a nice steak dinner.
No,
I wouldn't fucking do that. My birthday's in 2 weeks.
No.
You're not getting that at all.
I wouldn't track there. But like, if it was like we were just going out for a, I don't know, work lunch, I'd probably track it. Because we rarely ever do that. But if let's for example, we'll go out for a work lunch, I'd probably track that.
Last time we went out for a work thing, it was Fat Jacks, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, it was Squires.
Yeah, it was the Christmas party. I didn't track that. That was fucking cool.
Whee!
But like, if I was to go out for breakfast to go like get eggs and whatever, I'd track it because it's just breakfast. It's whatever. But the same goes with alcohol. Like, you can still track your drinks. It's not that hard to do. Like, you can go and get cocktails. They're quite difficult to track, but like
they're so fucking calorie dense. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like all the shit they add into it.
Agave.
But if you go and just get like, I don't know,
seltzer.
Vodka, like with
seltzer.
seltzer, vodka.
70 calories, most of them.
Yeah?
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Vodka with like Diet Coke or Diet Lemonade. Whatever.
Vodka and Diet Coke. Who the fuck drinks vodka and Diet Coke?
Isn't that's definitely a thing.
Vodka soda, maybe, or vodka lime.
Oh, then I do some fucked up stuff. No, we're Googling this right now.
Vodka and Diet Coke. That's weird.
Vodka Coke. I'm guarantee you that's a thing. Vodka, unless I've just completely like Coke.
Coke.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah, vodka and Coke. Yeah, it's a fucking thing. I don't think I've ever actually had it now that I think about it. I'm thinking of rum and Coke, but
one of my clients just sent me a video
yeah,
saying this is their new alarm.
is it Ronnie Coleman?
That's
That's the better bit than the yeah buddy bit where he goes ooh. That's the best bit of the video.
Yeah, buddy.
Whatever. Vodka Coke, vodka fucking lemonade, vodka sparkling water, I don't know, whatever shit you drink.
Vodka and water.
It's like very, very low calories, and it's super, super easy to track because all you need to track, if it's a calorie-free soft drink, then you just need to track the vodka. Same with whiskey. Whiskey is like all spirits pretty much have almost identical. I'm pretty sure it's like
100 calories a shot, isn't it? Or like 90 to 100.
Something like that, yeah. So if you banked 700 calories, you could literally have 7 drinks. And
do you ever find like you have this conversation with people? They're like, "Oh, I want to go out for drinks." I'm like, "Okay, cool. We can bank calories. We can track it." And it kind of becomes confronting with people when I ask, "How many drinks do you want to have?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, and they're like, "Oh, like 4." And I was like, "Are you planning to go out?" And they're like, "Yes." I was like, "When was the last time you stuck to 4? They're like,
yeah,
maybe a while ago. I was like, "Okay, let's look at this more logically."
14.
That's more like it.
Yeah, because like you get to a point where it's like you also got to remember.
I always ask, what's the purpose that you're wanting to drink? Like, do you want to enjoy drinks with friends, or do you want to get fucked up? Because if it's just enjoy a couple of drinks, then you can have 4.
But if it's get fucked up, you need more.
We need to be very strategic.
Yeah, you're not eating ever again. But it gets like, even like if you're going for 14 drinks, you know you're going to be hammered. The next day you're going to be hungover as fuck. And what does everyone do when they're hungover?
Gorge themselves.
They go order McDonald's.
Roll their face in a Domino's.
That's it. So even like
sit on a Big Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Typically what I'll do for clients that want to go and have a huge night out is you hit your protein the day before, take away some carbs or all carbs, depending on how big you're going. The day of, hit your protein. You've got yesterday's carbs, calories, fats, some as well, to carry over today. And then let's say you're on, I don't know, 200, 300 grams of carbs, 300 grams of carbs, you got 600 grams of carbs there to enjoy. You'll have a couple drinks. You'll probably pull off some fats too. So you'll have more calories. And then the next day, you'll literally just eat McDonald's and be throwing up. So you will not need that many. You will not need that many calories, and you could fit that McDonald's in. The following day after that, you'll probably see a weight spike, most likely just water retention. So it's not like you've put on fucking 1.5 kilos of fat. And then you just kind of just write it off, get back on track to regular calories, and just go from there.
Get back on the bandy.
That's it. And it's literally
that's the main thing. Like the main thing isn't so much like the banking calories. Like, yes, it is. But the main thing is just not letting that Friday night snowball into a Sunday night.
Yeah.
Right? So Friday night, okay, you had good time. Saturday morning, you had fucking
bad time.
Bad time, squirty bum, squirty face. And then you have a greasy big breakfast, and you, like, the calories are off the chizzy. Like, they're bananas.
Yeah.
And then even better, the Saturday lunch, you come back and you're like, cool, gonna have my meal prep. And then Saturday night, you have a very early night.
Yeah. And then you just get back on it. Same goes with eating food out as well.
Yes.
Like, it depends. Like, you can break down that food.
Little less catastrophic as well.
It's
eating out.
easier to do. But like, what
you
I
don't have the next day repercussions.
That too.
Unless you eat Mexican food.
Yeah.
Squirty bum. My old gamer tag was called Tootsie McAnus.
Yeah, we spoke about
Have
that.
we?
Yeah,
No, Tootsie returns.
Yeah, we spoke about that like with the episode with Reese the other week.
What episode? Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, which Reese?
No.
I just call girl Reese Pieces now. Reese's
Because
Pieces.
it's spelled the same.
Yeah.
Fair. But with the food, easiest way to do that is just break down the meal. If you're going, like, you could go look at the menu beforehand. That's a valid thing to do as well. But sometimes
Don't go into the restaurant and sit down, look at the menu, and then leave.
I'll be back in a couple of hours.
I'll be back tomorrow. Well, I think I want the steak. But tentative. I got to ask my coach.
Look online. Like, you could do that, or you could just rock up and be like, cool, I'm going to have the steak and I'm going to have
Salad and no chippies.
the salad. Or if you want to have the chips, fuck it, have the chips. Like, you can track them. Like, literally just go online and find the
Hot chippies.
McCain's chips and then just add a bit of oil to them and you'll be pretty good to go.
Yep.
If it's something more complex, like I don't know, Parma or whatever, just go online, find a Parma, go with the serving size, and go 1.5.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the best way to do it. That is your guide to how to get into the basics of nutrition.
One thing I'm going to say,
Go for it.
if you're doing that, so if you say every week you go out on a Friday night and you have a Parma after work and that's your thing, make sure when you make the meal the first time, so on that Friday, when you build it in MyFitnessPal or you build it in Chronometer, save it as Friday night fucking Parma or something, and use the same meal every week. Do not rebuild it every single week because it will be slightly different. Someone might have fucked with the calories or added macans and like changed the calories on you and you don't notice. And then every week you're tracking an invariable bit of data, you're tracking a variable bit of data, which will either some weeks put you up, put you down. That's not what you want. You want it to be consistently. If something is tracked consistently wrong, it's still better than inconsistently trying to track correctly.
Yeah, I get you.
Right?
Yep.
So if that's you and you have the same thing every week, you want to factor it in, you can do it and just make sure it's fucking consistent.
Cool.
Even if it's not 100% correct, because you're still like, at the end of the day, your body doesn't know how many calories like it's actually eating, the numbers and shit, right? It just knows what comes in, what goes out. So just like, it's your job to try and give it the most accurate data.
Yep.
Give yourself the most accurate data as possible.
I forgot about that.
And that's a big one. So don't try and because you might think you'd be doing the right thing, but then if you add different oils every time, and one's 30 calories and one's 130 calories, and then you're either shortchanging yourself or giving yourself too much of a buffer. And then you lean into problems where you're like, oh, macro tracking doesn't work. No.
You don't work.
You're just being a silly goose.
All right. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot us a message each on Instagram, the Lionstone page, whatever it might be. Go download Macros Made Easy. I'll put the link in the description. Same for the calorie calculator. And then that's it. We will see you.
If you found this valuable.
Oh, yes. Forgot about that.
Please like, share, subscribe. If you found this valuable, please like, share, and Wallace and Gromit. Share this with a friend, screenshot it, put it on social media. We don't run any like paid ads on this podcast, so we really want to spread the word, and the best way we can do that is by you guys sharing it with your friends.
Yes.
So
and our goal for this year is to get the channel to 5K.
The goal this year, where are we at now?
I'll quickly double
Have
check.
a quick look, because it's important. Like we want to do this for you guys. We want you to understand that fitness doesn't have to be this tumultuous journey of all this kind of shit, and it becomes more of a lifestyle. And it sounds real like gimmicky, but it's not. Like it's not actually that hard. So
we are at 2,190-ish.
2,190-ish. So like we got 3K to go, which is ish. No, 2,100.
2,800.
Yeah, okay. We got about that many to go, and that's 2,800 more people that we could help better their relationship with training, food, and get a better result.
Correct. So next week you will see it'll be a guest episode next week.
Ooh, a guest.
And then sometime on the channel next week, we will put up that Hot Ones video that you saw us filming on Instagram. And
I fucking nailed that shit.
Yeah, you did well. And then a bunch of other videos. So it's going to go on a weekly rotation of podcasts, and then later in the week, some kind of educational training video, fun video. We've got, before you end it, this would be good. You'll like this one. So we're going to do paintball as a video, as a group.
Oh, we're going to be mic'd up and do paintball?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And we're going to do, Reese and I, you might want to come if you want, I'm going to go do a ghost hunting video.
Can we do go-karting?
Yeah, we can do that too.
Wow.
That's a good idea.
Also, whilst we're on it, whilst we've got Reese's company car, we could do like Dark Zone. Like Dark Zone doesn't exist anymore, but like laser tag as well. Laser tag would be fun. Bowling would be good. What other things do we like to do at kids' parties that we could probably?
We could do an escape room. That'd be good too.
Oh, I love escape rooms. I haven't done one before.
That'd be good. That'd be good. If you guys have any videos you want to see us do that are
Comment below.
more fun, go let us know.
All right. See you later,
next
guys.
week.